Moo, I say. Moo! Well, let's see what's going up here, everybody. This is supposed to happen in like 20-ish minutes or something like that. Where are we at? I guess 27 minutes. So we still got a ways to go. Um, my upload's not great this morning, it looks like. It is what it is. I tried both connections too, so it's a YouTube ingress server, not a me thing. So if my stream is crappy this morning, I apologize. Nothing I can do about it. Dun, 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 dun. I have not yet decided, guys, on what I'm playing yet for my new playthrough. I think I'm gonna go Corpo just to change it up a bit. I don't know that any of the quests have changed so much. Um, all I know is, and we'll be finding out today exactly what is. I think today will be the day they announce the launch of the 2.0 update, which could happen today. We don't know. I was not anticipating playing this game until the end of the month. However, if they announce that the 2.0 update is coming tomorrow, well, then I'm going to be starting my playthrough now, like immediately. And that way I'm primed and ready to go, and maybe even at the point to start the Phantom Liberty quest line when the DLC drops on the 26th. But we'll know more. That's what we're here today to listen to and watch and find out more about, because I know nothing about what we're about to witness. We're all here to see what it is. It's a press thingy. 25 minutes ago, Corpo. Bologna says going Corpo Melee here. I'll probably do. I really liked the first time I went through as a sneak based nomad, using cool for everything. I may go like Netrunner. Like I may go just full on Netrunner tech with this build. I won't do any melee, but I'll probably prioritize net running and tech stuff, and then have like stealth as I want to. You're definitely prepping Act 1 locations in anticipations of Phantom Liberty. Gotcha. Grind that while catching up on Ahsoka. Yeah. See, I don't remember hardly anything about the. I mean, I went through the whole base game, and I remember vaguely the whole story, but I did not do a deep dive the first time the game launched because it was such bad performance on my PlayStation 4 that I pushed through the blue screen crashes to get to you just get the story done. And I loved the main story, but I only played like it was in the 50-ish hours, like mid 50s, I think, 54, 55, something like that. I did not do like an 80-hour mega run, which I will definitely do with the 2.0 update. We're gonna do. I'll tell you what, guys. I've been a lot of what I've done this year with the channel has been strategized out since about February. I think was when we enacted our new content calendar, and it's been working pretty good. But I've been looking at ways I could, there are things that I want to do, and I've been trying to figure out how to do them in a way that, you know, it continues to grow the channel in the ways that I want it to. And I've been diving into the way Co Carnage does his YouTube channel, and I think I'm gonna experiment with something for Cyberpunk, which I've never done before. So um, I've done, I think I've done two complete playthrough, like Let's Play series on my channel. One was for Solasta, it was 100% live streamed, and then I've been live streaming my Druid in Baldur's Gate 3, but those are, spread out over the course of weeks. And I've watched him, like, because he streams all day, which I don't, but still, breaking up the episodes into 30-minute chunks and then each playthrough is getting like 100 episodes, and those get pushed into the YouTube algorithm, but not with notifications to your subscribers. So I was like, that's actually legit. Um, I mean, I definitely use that function for some things, but I've never thought about pushing a whole series out like that, where they're pushing out, 10, 12 episodes a day. So I'm gonna be having some fun with Cyberpunk, because I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna experiment with that method of doing things, and even if I'm playing offline for 4 hours, what I've done in the past is I'll just pull specific snips out of things that I find interesting. But I think with my playthrough of Cyberpunk 2.0, leading up to and through Phantom Liberty, I think I'm going to do a complete playthrough series, including Phantom Liberty, as a Let's Play series with 30-minute episodes, and we're just going to do however many episodes that turns out. Bubble says I had a pattern for all the scanner Regina missions and could do a complete Act 1 in about 10 hours. Never ever thought to make a video on it. Well, that's the thing. Like, I was looking at the way he did things, and I was like, that's actually pretty brilliant. Because if you played for 10 hours and you broke that down into 30-minute episodes, you've got 20 episodes that are ready to go, and you can just go from there. And that's, if you want to push them all out, into the algorithm with no notifications to subscribers, you could push them all out in a day if you wanted to. Or you could trickle drop those and do like, 2 episodes a day for the next, however many days. I don't know. I'm gonna be playing around with Cyberpunk, everybody. We obviously are gonna be streaming it from time to time, mixed in with the Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield. But I'm also planning on it's. I already did it, so I can't go back unless I redo it on my next character. But like with the Starfield, I'm about to start the Freestar Rangers missions, and I'm gonna record that as its own play session for just the faction mission. We'll do a Let's Play series around that, so we'll see. And then um, I've been doing a bunch of stuff with the Sorcerer on Baldur's Gate 3. 100% clear going into Act 2, Phantom Liberty, says Boblonia. I'm going to try to do 100% clear on everything because it's been so long since I played the whole game. It's going to be interesting to see how this works. But I'm pretty much, unless something happens to change my mind after the announcement this morning that Rogue Trader is coming in December, there's also the other game I was looking at for December was the Avatar game is coming in December. So I'll probably hop on both of those games for the month of December. But up until December, we've got so much Starfield, so much Baldur's Gate 3, and so much Phantom Liberty to do. It's gonna be a busy, busy few months. The plan is to do a Baldur's Gate 3 stream today, everybody, after this. But I don't know how long this is going to go, so I'm anticipating this is going to be a 1 hour thing at the most from them. But I don't know exactly, so we're gonna watch this and see. But that's the idea is we're gonna hang out, watch this together, and then assuming it's not too late, I'm gonna go from there and do my Baldur's Gate 3 stream. If it gets too late, I'll probably just postpone the stream until tomorrow. I'm checking out. I got Discord messages, everybody. I'm getting stuff answered. Oxlon says I haven't been following the Avatar game coming up. Is there a game you compare it to for reference? Um, I don't know. It looks amazing, and it's Ubisoft. I like their games traditionally. I really like their open world stuff. I loved Assassin's Creed, Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla. That trilogy of games was really good. And from everything I've seen and everything I understand about that game, it is that style. It is that open world, first person RPG, but just set in the Avatar universe. So I remember first peeping the trailer like 2 years ago and being really interested. And that's coming out in December at some point. I don't remember when. It's like mid-December, like the 12th maybe. I could be wrong on that, but I was just gonna play that during the month of December. But now Rogue Trader got its launch date, and I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I can do both of those in 1 month. It's been so I'm learning a lot. I'm doing well. My channel is doing well. And I knew a lot going into this of what I needed to do to at least do a certain level of what I wanted to do. But I'm looking at the hard part is if you watch what a lot of game content channels do is they chase the new releases. And that's something I don't like the idea of doing. I don't like the idea of chasing the new releases just to keep the views always, at 25,000 per video. You know what I mean? Like, because if you take too long, which is what I'm doing, if you take too long with things like Baldur's Gate 3 or Starfield, et cetera, and you play those for months instead of just a couple of weeks, the views start dropping way down because people get bored and they want to go off to the next new thing. Um, and it's been a challenge to produce content around both Starfield and Baldur's Gate 3 at the pace everyone else wants. It's just not possible. Like I can only do so much per day because I'm a one-man show. And then adding this into the mix, it's like, all right, we're maxed out for the next few months. But the idea of like I was gonna play Pandora in December because there was nothing else that I could see in December. But now with Rogue Trader coming out, if I make content around Rogue Trader the same way I made content around Baldur's Gate 3, that's a 3 month time commitment right there, just for one game. At least the way I do things, because I don't do like 2 weeks and then off to the next thing. Origins was your favorite, says Corfield. I love Egypt though. I think out of those three, my favorite still is Odyssey because I like the Greek mythology more than anything else. But I think Valhalla was a better game out of those three. I've only done Valhalla once. I need to go back and do Valhalla again. Why am I getting frame drops on OBS when I'm not doing anything other than just sitting here watching a trailer? Who knows? Old hardware. Don't chase the dead? Yeah, for sure. I still gotta watch. I've had it sitting here to watch for like 2 weeks, but the Babylon 5 animated film. I need to get that watched and reviewed. And I still haven't done my review of what do you call it? Oh, Uncharted. Chris and I watched that a week or so ago, and I just forgot to do my review because it was a fun film, and I want to get the review out. And then I did do the review of the Batman, which we watched. Um, we've watched 4 or 5 movies that were just not good enough to review, but I did like Uncharted, so I'll get that one. Griffith says, love watching streams and videos because it feels like a community with Discord, etc. Yeah, I mean, I try to keep it community based. I've always tried to keep it pretty tight. Oxford says, I prefer pace if it allows me to balance work, playing the game myself, and watching your content. I can't sit and watch someone's playthrough in a week. Maybe if I was retired. Yeah, Oxlorn, that's the thing. It's like I like to marinate on games. The idea of and I realize that I don't need the same amount of money that a bunch of other streamers need. I mean, some people need $10,000 a month to pay their bills, and so I understand that need to push that manner. There are some new games that I will cover and have been covering for years, and I'll continue to do that. But man, like we were talking about this in our Discord, Bubbleonia and I with Muji, and it was like, Starfield is turning into one of those games. Baldur's Gate 3 as well. These are two games that if you wanted to, you could make your channel just about those two games and grow immensely if you just wanted to do those two games because there's a big enough community and enough replayability plus the mods on top of it. Same thing with Cyberpunk. Um, if you wanted to go that route, I like to do lots of different things. Have I seen the Stargate game coming? Um, I've briefly looked at it. I have a long. I was in the what you would call it early access these days. I was in the early access for the Stargate MMO like 20 years ago. And I actually got kicked off those forums like three different times because debates and stuff. But I have a long history with the Stargate franchise. I love the shows, I love the films, I love the franchise. Unfortunately, like none of their video game projects have ever been good, and half of them have never gotten off the ground. It's a very sad state of things. Stargate is a series that needs more love. Um, and then the thing with the scripts and everything, because Brad wrote some more scripts that unfortunately got passed on by Amazon and the new overlords of the IP. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that pans out. All right, we are down to. Hang on a second here. Oh, I think you just posted that the timekeepers thing. Yeah, I mean it's interesting. We'll see if it turns into something more than interesting. 9 minutes to go. We'll see what my internet does when I try to do this in the stream at the same time because my internet's but it looks like it's the YouTube ingress server, so we'll see. Destinations being almost infinite with the Stargate, right? And depending on what setting they chose, you have so many ways to go as well because there's the early part of like the classic era of Stargate SG-1, which would be ideal because you're fighting the Goa'uld and that made for a really interesting like however many season run that was. The machine creatures, that's boring. The wraiths, that's okay. But I would prefer, the classic early seasons of SG1 where you've got an infinite amount of planets to go to, but they're all like under Goa'uld control and that was so much cool. Then all the gods are like the boss fights and um, there's a lot of potential there for sure. Yeah, having to decipher gate addresses. Yeah, that could be a whole research thing. It kind of like the way they did with Mass Effect Andromeda, where you had to search down, you had to go to all the monoliths and get the glyphs, put the glyphs, and you had to uncover the glyphs, and then uncover the pylons to get the thing to open, and then you could go down and start the reactor, which would terraform the planet. Like that kind of thing I could get behind because you would be sending the adventure parties out to get the runes. And so each rune could be in the middle of a dungeon or something, and then you come back from that and you collect all the and that's how you get off the planet, you know. Stargate has a lot of potential as a, and they have tried some co-op stuff, but that's the thing. Like Stargate games have traditionally, they haven't done shit. Like they haven't gone anywhere. It's unfortunate. Replicators, that's what they were called. Thanks, Robert. I liked, you know, by the way, we don't have our chat box turned on in this window. Let me get the chat box turned on, everybody. Everybody's chat should start showing up on my screen as well on the left-hand side. I had it turned off on this one because I'm using a different tab than I normally use. Oh, that's not going to show up against the yellow background. Oh, well. Yes, it sucked because Universe was great. Like I was just getting invested in Universe, and then they went, nope. And I was like, fuck you, it was so good. I had a lot of fun with Universe anyway. Dun, 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 dun. I wish they'd let companies add background music when you're just sitting here waiting on a screen like this. If I was a better streamer, I would have gotten some background music going, but I'm always paranoid about things getting hit with copyright because this needs music, especially given the amazing music that Cyberpunk 2077 has in it. Well, let's see what we're gonna get today, everybody, because I was going over with Chris this morning. You know, these games are pulling in big enough numbers now that guys like Idris Elba are interested enough to go, oh, there's 20 million people have bought this game. That's a lot of, you know, 20 million people buying movie theater tickets. That's a big number. So it's really cool to see these actors coming out and, being willing to do press for these games, but I'd love to know how much they got paid as well, because I'd be willing to bet it's in the few millions of dollars range. Bring the star power in, and I'm genuinely curious. Knowing CD Projekt's Red penchant for big expansions in the past, um, how big this expansion is going to be, because like Blood and Wine was a massive, massive, massive expansion. It was big. Um, so even if we only got like 20 hours of additional content, I'd be pretty stoked by that if it's just pure storyline. 2 minutes to go. I'm reading a comment on my Star Wars post from this morning or yesterday. I don't remember when I made that post. Bubbaloni says I submitted a song for their radio station contest last November. Oxlo says my dream would be to see Ari Salvador's Drift series of books in a TV series format. Well, I would say you're going to see that, Oxlorn, because they've got the live action show coming. They've got an animated show coming, both in the Forgotten Realms. They haven't announced what those are yet, but I would guarantee you it's going to be Drist content. And then, what's his name? The actor I can't remember right now. Has a Dragonlance series in the work, which I'm way more excited for than anything else because I love Dragonlance. Bubble says prediction: playing through the Phantom Limited storyline opens up 2 new endings, bringing the total to 7 and slightly altering a few of the base game's canon endings. That would be pretty awesome. 60 seconds to the premiere, everybody. We're almost ready. I think that the Drift stories were fun in the earlier versions of the books, but once it became like a Superman character, I stopped giving a shit because I liked it when the character had something to lose and the stakes felt high. But the moment that Drizzt became this immortal character that could never be killed off, like Elminster, I no longer cared about the character. It's like you're no longer like I'm not interested in the forever hero. Like I need there to be threat. I need there to be death. I need, the character needs to move on. We can have other legacy characters that move in to take the place of that character. Drizzt is a great character, but he didn't need to survive more than maybe a couple of trilogies. Like spinning out, 75 novels about Drizzt over the course of 40 years is just a little too much for me to handle. Um, well, there is a Dragonlance series in the works. Oh, they used the default. Boo! Oh. That music is ridiculously loud. I'm turning it off for a minute. Did I read the Canticle Quintet? I did. I've read a lot of R.A. Salvatore over the years. John and Die Hard, the later movies, jumping off a helicopter is like a superhero. Yeah. I cannot believe they used the default. That music is so obnoxiously loud every time you go live with a premiere with the default. All right, I should start recording at this point. I think any character that becomes a superhero I lose my interest in them at that point, unless their superhero journey is fraught with danger. Oh, we're starting off with some good music. Yeah. I can dig it.
Hello everyone, everyone, and welcome to this special jam-packed episode of Night City Wire. This is the place where we talk all things Cyberpunk 2077, or rather, all things Phantom Liberty. My name is Papa Busha and I will be your host today, and we have a lot to go through, so let's get started. We've got gameplay, behind the scenes, music, and plenty of surprises along the way. Speaking of, let's kick things off with a world premiere of our brand new Phantom Liberty CGI trailer starring the one and only Idris Elba.
Heck yeah. So this is the world premiere. This is awesome. Cinematic trailer. So they did say CGI.
Trust me.
You know I do. Tell me I'm right where you wanted me. Now tell me I'm out of this goddamn town.
Nobody on you. I just caught surveillance cams.
Adios, Night City.
Should be back in the homeland by 2 a.m.
Yeah. What about you? Get your ticket out yet?
I hear the government's sealing a deal.
I told you. You're the president's favorite. You're gonna walk out of this on a red carpet.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, you deserve it. I wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for you. You know what I'm thinking about right now?
You're not getting out of Night City that easy.
Taco stand back home. First thing I'm gonna do when I get off this train is head right there. I swear those quesadillas come to me in my dreams.
I like good quesadilla.
It sure sounds tasty.
Yeah. You were the one that took me there in the first place?
Yeah.
Something, mate?
I remember now.
Wow. Listen, when this is all over, you gotta take a break, you hear me? Tell me, do you copy?
What's about to go down? Oh, she's burning him. She's burning him.
We got a passenger in his carrier, and I think we might be compromised. Can you hack the trap?
Oh yeah, they just burned him.
Show me.
So he's gonna want revenge for that. 7 years later. Okay. All right.
So me, you want a pill? So me,
Excuse me, Madam President.
pill? It's going to be a long flight.
No, thank you.
I wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for you.
Tasty, tasty, tasty. I've already pre-ordered. I'm good to go. I'm just waiting on the thing to kick in for my Series X. You don't gotta sell me anything.
What a cliffhanger. Everything you saw in the trailer happened 7 years before Phantom Liberty begins. So there's definitely a lot more story to discover in the expansion. Now we're gonna hear from Idris Elba himself to talk more about the trailer and how he brought Solomon Reed to life.
Hi, I'm Idris Elba, and I play Secret Agent Solomon Reed in Phantom Liberty, the upcoming expansion for Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, looks good.
Reed is a professional, someone that's lived many lives. He's basically a sort of secret agent that has worked in Night City for a long time and has been a special ops operator and, you know, basically has kept his head down until now. And when he comes back in a major way. He's a pivotal character. You learn a lot about the story through Reed. And actually meeting Reed is like, you know, it can either go one way or the other.
Treason ain't ever black and white.
It's a charade, V.
Obviously, you know, with a spy character like Solomon Reed, you don't know much about him. You know what maybe he's capable of, but can you trust him or not? A spy story will make you think one thing, and actually you should be paying attention to something else. Every now and again, in the storyline, you actually get some nuggets of who Solomon Reed is, and he's reluctant. You know, he doesn't really like to just open up and say it.
Well, he's been in hiding for 7 years.
His personal side is definitely
Makes sense.
one that's filled with torment, betrayal, trauma, but at the center of his personal life is his work. Like, he really loves his job. He's a very, very dedicated agent, and you get to know that as you play with this character. So in this shot, I think Reed is thinking about all the things he's done as an agent, as someone that has dedicated his life, and now he's about to walk away. And it's symbolized in this huge leap that he's about to make. It's also a leap into his freedom. So what I love about Cyberpunk, you know, is the technology. The tech is mad. Solomon's right here. He's done. He's on the train. He's about to chill. He's leaving. And also he has the one person that he trusts to help him make that escape. He's not thinking that anyone could have infiltrated him. No one even saw him get on the train. He jumped from the sky. So he's feeling really good. For anyone who's really looking at this frame, there's a big Easter egg. Look for it. It's there. It's in the frame, but it's a big Easter egg. That's all I'm saying.
What about you? Get your ticket out yet?
So me.
I hear the government's sealing a deal.
I remember shooting this, you sit in these sort of like pajamas, basically, with all this stuff all over you, and you got a big sort of camera thing rig on your face. You've got to really get into the imagination of your character. And I remember shooting this, and it's incredible, man. Now look at the detailing on the animation. Obviously, I was there, so I'm acting, but to see it come to life like this is bonkers.
Taco stand back home. First thing I'm gonna do when I get off this train is head right there. I swear those quesadillas come to me in my dreams.
It sure sounds tasty.
Hey, no
Reed
worries,
and
Robert,
Somi
man.
relationships are
Yard
really
work is
big
necessary.
thing to unpack. It's really good. I can tell you that, you know, Solomon Reed and Somi have. a
Bubble
special
says, I'm sure
bond.
he'd rather watch this with
More or
Grandpa
less
than doing
Somi
yard
is
work.
his protege. He trained her to some degree. He's one that looked out for her. And all I can say is that he trusts her. This is the moment. That's the beginning of the section where it starts to literally crumble for their friendship. Super tense moment there. And this is for Somi, this moment of, you know, do I, don't I? Do I betray a friend? Someone's like a father. She's under incredible pressure that we don't realize. It's either her or him.
Yeah, betray.
Well, I wonder what her motivations are and the reasons for
That's why
burning
I love
him.
this moment when he touches the door and he's like, Somi? He knows immediately he's been made. He's dead. There is a moment of remorse and a moment of sort of regret, I guess, feeling a bit betrayed from Somi, but that's not what he's thinking about right now. What he's thinking about is like, okay, how do I try and up my odds here and get out?
7 years later.
This is the moment that you actually realize that Somi is just a different person. You know what I mean? Like, she's a lot more harsh looking, colder in the eyes.
And she's more robotic
So me,
here.
You want a pill? So me.
Excuse me, Madam President.
Now she
Pill?
works for the president,
It's going to be a long flight.
No.
but the plane just got shot down.
I wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for you.
Now that is a good trailer.
Get your ammo, assault rifles, tactical gear.
Dogtown is, I guess, the most deadly place in Night City. It's a district ruled by a militia. It's also sort of like a labyrinth of crumbling infrastructure. And by the way, the scale of Dogtown is
I can't
incredible.
wait.
You know, as a storyteller,
It's gonna be fun.
it's just an amazing canvas. Because it's open world, I mean, you can
I'm like 99% sure I'm going corpo background this time. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go like a netrunner hacker primarily with a little bit of stealth in the background.
It's a big storyline and it's really well dialogued. He's a really big character. It's really complex to play, actually. This is the first major game I've done as a voice major, and it was an easy yes for me because I'm a big fan of CD Projekt from the
Oh yeah,
Witcher
you
games
saw
and
Keanu doing it,
Cyberpunk. What I
and
really liked
20
about it
million
is the fact that it's
sales.
so big
You'd be
and a
stupid
real
not to do
character
it.
study. And it was a challenge for me, I'm not gonna lie, but in terms of the voice, I have to have the spectrum of emotions in the way I speak, in the way he answers. The whole experience was definitely like a learning curve. And I can say I've done it, and I've done it, you know, in a really phenomenal game.
Dogtown. Burn it to the ground is what we'll do. It's a simple choice. Them or us.
Oh, run away from that big laser
Peace
beast.
comes at a price. Someone's always got to pay.
Din, 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 din. My body is ready.
Awesome stuff. Seeing Idris Elba in action and talking about his character really makes me want to get to know him more in the game. But new characters aren't the only addition to Phantom Liberty. Music has always been a vital part of our games and the stories we tell. We've created a brand new score for Phantom Liberty.
Nice.
And right now, we'll hear from senior composer P.T. Adamczyk and composer Jacek Paciorkowski to discuss creating music for a spy thriller.
Sweet.
We'll also hear more about the new radio stations coming to the game, featuring all new tracks from artists from all around the world. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey Pavel.
Hi, Pavel. How
Good
are
to
you?
be here.
I'm great. It's awesome to have you guys here in the studio, and I want to know everything about Phantom Liberty and its score. So
I love
tell me,
the
like, what's
studio
going on here?
space
Like,
they've
what are
got
the
here. This is
inspirations?
really nice.
What type of music can we expect, and how does it fit into Cyberpunk 2077?
Can definitely expect more cyberpunk vibe. Although we spiced it up a little bit more with spy thriller themes throughout the project. We wanted to make players feel like they're secret agents behind the enemy lines, give them the gravity of the situation and also the danger that V is in during their mission. The most influential part, I think, is the new characters that are introduced in the expansion.
Yes, because you know it's a CDPR game and characters make the story. Apart from the spy thriller thing, there's obviously a very deep emotional and very human story that we're trying to tell. And this time, the main relationship between Songbird and Reed is sort of what we're focusing on musically. It's also, you know, what is the principal theme musically in this expansion. Everything basically like it's always in CDPR games, you know, many different layers, but at the heart of it is a touching story.
I'm happy that you mentioned that characters are very important.
Yeah, I'd love one of those
I
chairs
always treat
too,
like
Robert.
characters being the catalyst of the story itself. But we're known for our storytelling. There's a lot of things going on, and music kind of needs to play into that in order to have you know, certain emotions come out of players. How difficult is it to like marry all these things together?
Well, it's definitely challenging. You know, it was challenging in the base game, and because right now we were so focused on the story of the triangle between Reed, Songbird, and V, that, you know, we were able to put even more detail into the sort of musical
God, that
storytelling
backdrop
of
looks
the,
amazing
for this
right there.
expansion. So it was definitely difficult, but I think also very rewarding, and I hope it's going to be really enjoyable for the players as well.
It is something that I look for when you know, playing a game, kind of seeing how the music affects me. And in some games, it's I think one of the most prominent things. And I also know our community has always been saying that, you know, when it comes to music, like you guys always nail it and bring, you know, a game always.
That's very kind.
You have something to add to that? Well, to me, it was actually relatively easy because I came on board only about a year ago. So the sound, even for the expansion, was already established. So I needed to fit within a spectrum that was created by PT and Marcin. Also added something for myself, did some gritty synths of my own.
So we know we have the the basics more or less. Of course, I know that after talking to you guys right now, I really want to listen to it. So question is, when can I listen to it, and when can the people watching listen to the score?
So I guess we have some good news to share. Our original score for Phantom Liberty is out right now on all streaming services.
Nice.
Awesome. That's amazing. That's the news I wanted to get. So that's one part of it. And now I feel like we should transition and talk about 3 new radio stations that we have. So we have Darkstar Radio, we have Impulse, and Growl FM. So these are 3 new radio stations that are coming to the game, and let's dive into them and tell me.
The question I have is,
what we
can
can
I
expect,
use these
and I'll
radio
let you guys
stations when
just
I'm
start with
streaming?
the
Because
one
that was
you
one of
wanna
the big
start,
things
and
when you
then
played
we'll
the
move through
game
the list.
originally is you had to turn
Well,
off.
Darkstar.
If you're streaming,
comes first to
you
my
can hit with
mind
copyright
because
stuff.
I'm into those moody, dark tracks. We wanted to create a station that combines music from around the world. So think of it as a world music of dark dystopian future. Obviously, when you have artists from around the world like Kenya, Uganda, Poland, America, they would interpret their visions in differently. Even though it has got that commonality, it is actually a quite various station. I think the
I love
highlight
first-person
of it
view
is
in some of the
also
cars in
there are
this
2
game.
tracks by Idris Elba himself.
Oh, Idris
Okay.
did some songs
Is
on the
he
soundtrack.
DJing there, or is he like rapping maybe? Like what is he doing there?
He is rapping and he produced those tracks.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
and
A lot of people don't know that about
thrilled
Idris
to have
Elba.
them.
He is
I think they
he does
fit
have a
perfectly,
songwriting career and a
both
DJ
in the
career.
Cyberpunk context and as well with the Darkstar Radio.
Is that the only radio station that he had influence over, or are there any other tracks that he kind of dabbled into? Maybe some DJing from him? I know he's known for that.
Yes, I mean that's one of the again great news is that we have him as a DJ. Impulse Radio is basically his DJ set, put together from unreleased tracks.
Nice.
So
That's kinda
if you
cool.
like listening to modern electronic music, club music, you can put Impulse Station on in one of your cars in Night City and just enjoy Idris's DJ set.
It must be also
That's pretty
interesting
cool.
because you guys are working with different artists, like you mentioned, from
It's
different
kinda
parts
cool
of
when
the
you
world,
see
and
other
also
artists get
mixing
to
all these
put their
things
influence into
together,
things
but
like
still trying to keep that
Keanu had a big
vibe
influence
of
on the
Cyberpunk in
motorcycles
it.
of this game because
Is it
of
like,
Arc.
from your
and
perspective, was it
seen
very
Idris
hard,
have a
or
lot
is
of
it
stuff to
something
do
that
because of
you
his
go to
DJ
someone and say
background.
like,
That's cool.
okay, this is our overall mood, this is kind of what we're trying to achieve, but then you give like people free reign to do whatever they want and what they're kind of known for.
We basically try to give them free reign, and we try to direct them very carefully. We want them to be great and to give us tracks that they love and the community will love. We don't want to be micromanagerial when it comes down to people creating music. We don't believe that this is the right way to do it. So, with Idris Elba, with all the other artists that we worked on, it was, here's the brief. It has to fit into the cyberpunk world context that we created, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, cool. So that leaves us with Growl FM as the last radio station, and I know this one also is a special one. So let's talk about it.
Everything is very unique. No 2 tracks are alike, and we're really happy. We were very proud of this station. We're really also very proud of the community.
Yeah.
So shout outs to the community.
It's incredible, but it must be also very difficult to take all these things and kind of, okay, does this fit into Cyberpunk? Will this be something that a player will enjoy? But I kind of feel that in a sense, yes, because there are people who kind of like to pretty much like branch out and listen to different things on one radio station instead of having a radio station that focuses only on one genre.
The uniqueness was key, really. Obviously, the craft had to be there, and the general vibe of Cyberpunk had to be, maintained within those tracks. However, there were a lot of tracks that we would, either Martin or I, we would never come up with them, So a lot of those entries were really surprising, but we felt that, Night City is an eclectic world. It's a world of a distant future, maybe not so distant future, but still futuristic.
Yeah.
So, it can be a melting pot of many different things.
I don't think it's good that they gave these guys the creative
basically
brain to
ran
do
with
that and put a lot of
it's
focus
like,
on the music, because way
how
too many
weird can
games
it
just
be?
are
How
like,
different
it's
can
just
it be
music.
to what we already have in the radio. And I think all the artists that are on Growl FM nailed it.
thank you guys for joining me and talking about this, because like I mentioned previously, and I'll mention it again, music for me is very important in games, and I think like you both and Marcin also have done a tremendous job in order to bring Night City to life, and also with the artists that you guys collaborated with. They all fit the bill. They enhance the gaming experience, so awesome stuff.
Music is also very important to us.
I can tell, because you guys can talk about it for days. Thank you for joining me once again.
Thank you, Pavaru.
Thanks for the invitation.
That's some great info about some great tunes. We've heard a bit about Growl FM already, but we want to share even more about this completely new radio station that has been created by you guys, the community. Here's a quick glimpse into a documentary about how the station came to be.
Music. Okay, so maybe we should do a radio station.
Underground broadcast. You didn't hear that in Night City in the base game.
Do people still believe? We just have to take part. The game has a lot of action.
This helped us a lot.
Your name is going to be immortalized forever.
You know, music can be a legitimate pursuit.
I know that Cyberpunk is built
Yeah,
on a
Babylonia,
universe
for
with
sure.
a lot of tech.
It's interesting. It's very fun.
You live on the streets and you dream of a big life.
That car looked
no
amazing.
limits on how far we could go with it.
Congratulations, you've won. You need to feel that music punches you in the teeth, takes your money and walks away.
Like K-pop, like hip-hop, even pop music. It was pretty nice. Ideas keep coming.
Hundreds of hours.
So that was a bit of a challenge. And I'm really excited to meet the artists behind the music in Growl FM podcast.
It's always amazing to see the awesome work of our community, and we can't wait to share the full documentary when it airs on September 18th.
Oh, that's
Stay
nice.
tuned to
So,
our social media
18th?
channels for more info.
That's 4 days from here.
Moving on to our last music
I'll cover that
announcement.
documentary.
Every good spy thriller needs a theme song, and we're super excited that chart-topping Polish singer-songwriter Dawid Podsiadło has a brand new original song featured in the game titled Phantom Liberty. Here's a teaser with some behind the scenes of how it was recorded.
Hello everyone, my name is Dawid Podsiadło. I'm a Polish musician, and today we're at the studio and we are recording a song for the Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty.
As a piano player for like 15 years or so, I do miss it sometimes, but I was also a drummer for about 4 years. That was years and years and years ago. I don't think I've touched an instrument since I was in my early 20s. I have a deep fascination with songwriting.
Play the game,
so
listen to the song, and I hope you're gonna fucking cry.
Oh, we're going James Bond style. Oh, we're like going James Bond theme, like major opening song. That's awesome.
After music, let's turn to gameplay. I'm here with game director Gabe Amatangelo to talk about some of the amazing new gameplay personalization possibilities we've created as part of Update 2.0 and Phantom Liberty.
Yeah, this is what a lot of people
Gabe,
are waiting for,
hello
2.0
once again.
stuff.
Pavel Burza. I recently learned that in English, Burza means storm.
Exactly.
So your name is Paul Storm.
It sounds better in English when you say it, like Paul Storm and Pavel Burza. It sounds much better.
It sounds bad. It sounds like a superhero. It sounds like you're Thor's cousin.
I wish. I wish.
Thor comes into the battle, does a single target damage. Paul Storm shows up, starts doing AoE damage.
Perfect start to the segment that we have, because we're
Single
talking about
target
gameplay.
AoE.
Yeah.
Combat. Let's talk about it.
Combat has changed a lot, but also character customization has changed in terms of the new perks and all that stuff, and we're here to unpack it. So I know you've talked about this already, but give us a general feel of what we can expect in terms of the changes coming with 2.0 and Phantom Liberty.
Sure, and like you're saying, there's so much. So I'd like to start with kind of just saying the spirit of it and what was the drive behind it. We want it to, because there's so much potential in the Cyberpunk IP, and when you think about the dark future,
Look at that
and
tsunami.
cyberware, there's different kind of like super soldier or super merc kind of fantasies you have in your mind, and we wanted players to be able to realize that and play it and feel it. And so we've basically changed the perks around. Like, I mean, there's stat increases and stuff like that, which is always fun in progression, you know, getting incrementally more powerful, but we really focus it on the actions, the things you can do, right? And so we've added a suite of things you can do that tie into different themes, and then of course
I'm
players
totally
can
covering
mix and
up his
match and
face.
come up with their own unique styles.
Yeah, that's really cool, and I like the customization part of it. That, you know, there are some things that we can do in terms of, like, we'll actually show some options in terms of what you can build, and we have the help of designers to guide us through it. But you can actually do like a mixture of a assassin type ninja, or a character that is more like Hulk smash, I want to go in and destroy stuff, or a stealthy netrunner that has like these you know, quick hacks and stuff like that. There's so many cool things to unpack here.
You can be a stealthy netrunner, you can be just like a direct, you know, going out there and just like wrecking stuff, blowing up machines and stuff, netrunner, hacking stuff.
I think that's why I'm going
so much
netrunner this
nuance
run.
as well. And we're going to talk more about players being able to explore the nuance later.
Exactly.
Okay.
One other thing in terms of like general stuff, something that is kind of general, but it's new, and it's not very general, but it's interesting, is the relic skill tree. Something that we unlock through the story, and what does it bring in terms of gameplay?
So the relic, as you said, tied into the Phantom Liberty story, and it's towards the beginning. It's within the first few minutes, so this isn't spoiling anything. And you've seen in the trailer, if you've watched the trailers, Somi reaches out to you through the relic. They're in a dire situation. It's the only way she can get to you. And to kind of show you she's the real deal and she can help you, she says, here's kind of a taste. I'm going to kind of clear out some of the bad data in the relic, and I'm gonna set it up such that your cyberware can utilize it. And so the theme of it is that it kind of both enhances your cyberware as well as able to kind of scan and exploit other people's cyberware. So it's kind of a cyberware theme to it.
It's crazy, crazy. It also shows you how powerful she is as a character, but that's like a whole different story arc that we could get into. But I don't want to get into that because I don't want to spoil anything. But that itself is incredible. So maybe what we should do right now is we should see the possible builds that we have. And I know we have 3. We have something that is a super strong solo. We have something that is like a more ninja type fast solo. And we have a netrunner. And we have the help of our fellow gameplay designers who will actually guide us.
I want to see the netrunner.
Yeah, let's
That's
take a
what I'm
look.
excited about. Build overviews.
I'm Karol Mateasik, lead gameplay designer, and my favorite build is what I like to call a bullet time ninja. Speed is of the essence for both defense and offense, which is why dash and air dash are perfect to get close to enemies without taking any damage. I like to bring a katana to a gunfight, and it goes great with a new perk that lets you deflect bullets and even send them flying back at enemies.
What?
If you're running low on health, you can also perform a finisher on low health enemy for a quick boost. But this playstyle isn't only about blades. You can combine 3 great perks, Stun Jog, Air Dash and Air Kerenzikov, to leap off motorcycles and rain down bullets from the sky in slow motion. The new Jailbreak ability from Phantom Liberty unleashes the full power of your Mantis Blades. After finishing or dismembering an enemy, you can perform a really long leap to deal devastating damage. Great for getting rid of those hard-to-reach targets like snipers and netrunners.
That does look pretty dope.
With this build, your enemies won't know what hit them.
Awesome.
Bullet time ninja.
Yes.
That's so cool. Like, you're moving, they can't even see you. You're just jumping in, mantis blade, katana, like going crazy, going ham on them.
Two favorite parts. I love the dash to the person in the guard tower or whatever.
Yeah, so high up.
Yeah. That was fun. But my favorite part was I like to bring a katana blade to a gunfight. Well done, Karol. That was good.
Yeah, it really showcases this build. This has actually been one of my favorite ones when I was playing Phantom Liberty. And with all the gameplay changes, like this one, I feel like this is kind of my go-to. Which my previous go-to was kind of like a stronger solo, but we'll have that as the last video. But now I think we should jump into the netrunner.
Yeah, let's check it out.
This is what I'm interested in, because this is what I think I want to play.
Hi, I'm Yulia Primak, a gameplay designer at CD Projekt Red, and I love playing as hack-and-slash netrunner. The best part of being a netrunner is, of course, the hacking. And now it's more powerful than ever.
Oh!
With the new quick hack queue, you can stack up to 4 hacks on a single enemy and play around with some devastating combos
hell
like
yeah.
Contagion and Overhit. It's pretty deadly.
Oh,
With
I'm gonna love
Overclock,
it.
you can gain an extra edge by sacrificing your health to cast hacks with almost no limit.
Oh,
With
this is just
Update
confirming my
2.0,
decision to go Netrunner.
Netrunners can even take over cars,
What?
transforming vehicles into ticking time bombs. Once you're up close, it's time to whip out the monowire. With the relic skill tree from Phantom Liberty, you can power it up even more. Now Netrunners can combine physical damage and upload control hacks onto enemies. I can't wait for everyone to try it out.
I still think I prefer a rifle or something as opposed to mono wire.
Hack and slash Netrunner, wow, lots of action. We kind of know Netrunners to be a little bit stealthy, kind of behind the scenes doing stuff. We have a little bit of that, but still, yet
Yeah, I went
they seem to
pistols
now
my
go in
first
and get
run.
dirty.
They can do both. They can do both. But I love to point out the play on words hack and slash. We love these catchphrases here. This was good. I love it. Yes, the Netrunner. That's sort of one version of playing it, kind of doing the damage, via blowing up cars, remote controlling it, getting in there with your nanowire. You can even like spread hacks with it. You can also get some of the memory back and drain. But yeah, you can go stealth to where it's kind of like there's like kind of a game in the network of like as you start doing hacks, like an enemy netrunner might be like someone's in the network, right? And there's a bunch of different abilities to kind of like suppress that kind of discovery, and so there's that kind of netrunner combat that's going on.
You're selling me on it even more. Corpo netrunner with cool stealth background.
There's so many different ways. Basically, the whole like pattern and beat and rhythm of net running has changed.
Yeah, my favorite part is when the car crashes into everything and just blows up.
It was a good combo. It was a good combo. She did both hacks there, which was the controlling it, and then of course put on the detonate one that had a timer and
exactly
cool
perfect.
combos.
Perfect, cool stuff.
Really cool stuff.
And now we have the last
Looks
one.
like
So
Gary
the last
Sinise.
one will be a strong solo build.
Lieutenant
so
Dan!
check it out.
Hi, I'm Filip Dovnar, lead gameplay designer, and I like to come and swing. So my favorite build is the Savage Slugger Solo.
I'll be right back. I'm not a big melee fan.
Being up close for
I got
combat
bio.
is really crucial for this build. The Wrecking Ball perk lets you knock down multiple enemies, all while closing the gap and putting you in the zone for some sweet, sweet annihilation. Another great option is Quake. For some extra flair, you can combine with Air Dash and drop in from above and throw everyone around you to the ground. When I'm using shotguns, I like to use the Obliterate perk for maximum carnage. And once I'm in range, it's time to take out the big guns. We've got the new finishers that let you grab enemies and throw them during fights. Great for controlling the battlefield. On top of that, you can supercharge the Gorilla Arms using the new Phantom Liberty relic tree that will let you send your enemies to the moon. With this build, you'll be unstoppable.
Mayhem.
The throw at the end.
Yeah, the Savage Slugger Solo. That's
3 times fast.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Like throwing people, like at the end, it's just like woo, and it just flies.
Yeah. I mean, certainly like the animals in that faction is like an inspiration for it, and obviously also Arnold Schwarzenegger and Terminator. Just like you got that heavy machine gun, and you can just take the bullets and the stuff, and there's all the kind of like mitigation and absorbing damage and kind of like taking that to fuel you to go back in there.
Yeah, I won't do
also with the
melee
hammer,
Ox
like
one. I'll
just
probably
closing
go
in
tech
actually
rifle
shows
because
you
I
that
like
this
being able
build
to
is
have the
very
tracking
versatile.
bullets.
You can actually go up and close and have some quick interaction, but
Or
also you're
pistol
able to
for
like
silencers and
hold these
stuff.
big weapons and even though they make you a little bit slower, you're still able to kind of, you know, sponge the bullets on you and still go in like crazy and then just throw people. Oh, there's so
yeah, a
many
lot of
cool
damage
things.
mitigation, and you can resist stuns and stuff like that. It's all about, like, because if you're like the fast solo, you get hit, it's gonna hurt and it's gonna knock you silly, right? But there, you can just keep barreling in. And then I love the montage of the claps, the finishes. That was fun.
But yeah, Gabe, I mean, that's it for our segment. I'm super excited to have you once again here in the studio. Thank you for sharing all your information. Also, thank you to all the gameplay designers who actually showcased the builds, because those were really awesome.
Yeah, and thank you for everyone watching and the players.
As you can see, we have many new ways to play and many new ways to cause chaos in Night City. And that means consequences. Let's take a look at what it looks like to come face to face with Night City's toughest armed forces, MaxTac.
MaxTac, baby. Don't fuck with these guys.
Target is Omega class. I repeat, Omega class target at large. MaxTac is en route.
Oh, here they come.
MaxTac in position, eyes on target.
Oh! September 21st is what they just showed on that date.
It's official. Update 2.0 will release on September 21st for free for anyone who owns Cyberpunk 2077
There it is.
on
That's
Xbox
the announcement.
Series X, S, PlayStation 5, and PC.
That's what we were looking
just
for.
1 week away. And if you want a taste of what's it like to build a new character with the redesigned perk system before then, we have a cool surprise for you. Right now, you can create your own build and experiment with all the new perks, including Phantom Liberty's Relic skill tree, with our build planner. Head to the build planner website now to see what kinds of builds you come up with before the launch of the update and the expansion. That's all we got for this Night City Wire special. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're excited to play Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty when it launches on September 26th. We'll see you then in Dogtown.
So cool, everybody. I can dig it. September 21st. So we'll go back to that screen capture real quick if we can. Turn that volume down there. Let's get that's what we're looking for right there. That is going to be our screenshot. We'll go ahead and get this into I'm getting my screenshot here, everybody, before we go. And that's it right there. All right, cool. Well, that was awesome, everybody. We're going to be going from here, and let's get that back into full screen. I don't need to see all that chat. There we go. So September 21st is the update 2.0 that we're looking for, which is when in the grand scheme of things. I haven't looked at my calendar yet. That is next Thursday, so a week from today. So it looks like I'll be starting my playthrough next Thursday. That's what I'm going to be planning on starting my playthrough for the game. So I'm going to go away from here, and I've got to create some content around what we just watched today and get this out to everybody. If you watched this live, thank you so much for being here as we did a live reaction to the Nightwire Phantom Liberty premiere special here. I'm going to get this out as a condensed version. Those of you here for the live, we obviously hung out for 40 minutes beforehand. I'm going to get that snipped out. We're going to go straight from the trailer and cover this whole thing. And then, of course, I'm going to cut some more videos and talk about my plans for Cyberpunk launch, because now, since update 2.0 is coming prior, a few days prior, I'll definitely be starting my playthrough before that, and spending next weekend in Night City with all of you on the live streams. So, Oxhorn says, nice, I have the 21st off. Can't wait. Rubbleina says, big fun times. Heck yeah. All right. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, everybody. Join as a member to get free member videos and access to the member-only live streams that happen on the weekends. There is no additional stream today. I'm not going to be doing a Baldur's Gate 3 stream. This was the stream for today. I'm going to go away and create a bunch of content around this event, get that out over the next couple of days. I will be back tomorrow streaming again at normal start time. We'll do Baldur's Gate 3 tomorrow, and then Saturday we've got 2 streams, Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield, and then we'll see what Sunday holds for us. In the meantime, I'm going to get cracking here and get some videos cut and edited.